Hey everybody, Chrissy here for Kindred Stamps, and I'm going to show you how to make these two cards. We're going to use the I Need Some Space and the It's About Time stamp sets. These sets are so much fun. All I can say is Geronimo! So what I did is I took a black piece of cardstock, and then you can see I have a little bit of chalk on there. That was just because I was going to heat emboss in white. So sometimes when you're using that embossing powder, I don't know if you've had this happen, but it happens to me all the time. It's so staticky, so it kind of gets stuck onto the paper. And it's really noticeable when you're using a dark color like a black or a gray or like a dark purple or something. So if you use this chalk ahead of time, it kind of keeps some of that powder off of the paper, and then you have more of a clean image. And then it does kind of go away. I mean, it's just chalk, so it does wipe off. But I found that to be really, really helpful when I heat embossing. So then I just sped this up. I used a couple of different distress oxide inks. I just wanted to make kind of a fun, kind of spacey type background, more like space inspired. I didn't want it to look totally like space, but a little bit inspired there. And I used the oxides just because I like that look that you get with them. I love the fact that I can put them on dark paper, and I feel like it really kind of pops. I knew I was going to use metallic pencils to color this little cyber robot guy in. So I just felt like the oxides would be a good match with those pencils. So you can see I sprayed it. Now when you spray these inks, they kind of make them activate, so they look almost like velvety. And then I went back over again and did another layer. So the more layers you do, the more water you add, you kind of start getting, you kind of start building, and you get a real interesting background. So yeah, you have this awesome image that you're highlighting, but then at the same time, when you look just a little bit closer, you can see all that detail that was put into creating this particular card. So at first glance, it might not look that exciting, but as you keep going and you actually look at it, you can see that, oh look, there's little spots on here, and there's, we're going to add stencil later and this and that. So now I colored everything in, and I kind of sped this up super duper fast because there's not really anything too exciting when I color with metallic pencils. I shade a little bit, but really I use the metallic just kind of for that pop. And since this is like a little cybernetic robot guy, I thought the metallic would be perfect. Now I did a second card off camera that I showed real quick at the beginning, and I'll show again at the end. That is a statue, but I used the metallic as well just to kind of keep them similar. I kind of wanted just to keep the same mediums going and give you two examples of what you can do using different colors and the two stamp sets. So this particular guy is from the It's About Time set, and the statue is from the I Need Space set. So once I was done coloring with those metallic pencils, I used this is seriously one of my favorite stencils. I use it probably way more than I should. I can't stop using it. So this is, I adhere it on there with my purple tape. This is just, if you can use washi, this is like a repositionable tape, and I love using this for stencils and when I'm adding gels and stuff like that because it holds everything down. So if you've never used a stencil before, the most important thing is it needs to stay in place, because as you're doing a technique like this where you're adding ink on and you're rubbing that stencil, the stencil or the paper will move. So you want to make sure that not only do you have it secured to your cardstock, you have it secured to your surface. Then you can see it's on there really light. Again, it's kind of like a subtle look to the background. I didn't even go all the way down. So it's on there, but it's not obvious. So then it was basically just time to assemble my card and add the finishing touches. So I just used my little tape gun there and adhered it. I wanted to use the black base and another black mat around it. That front card panel that I created is actually 3 3/4 by 5. The mat is 4 by 5 1/4, and then it's the standard card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 top folding. So just to add a little bit of the extra details, I have some sparkle markers. So I added the blue for like the center little, I don't know, little dot, little heart, whatever that is, the power source, and then some sparkle on just pieces of it. So kind of like his face and stuff like that. And then to finish everything off, I added some sequins. So what I do is I kind of place them down first and decide where I want them. And then I put some glue on a paper towel. And I use tweezers to kind of dip the sequins into that glue. I don't know, I found like with my fingers, I end up getting glue on my fingers and then it sticks on the card. It looks icky, so tweezers work for me. So that is the finished card. Here's a sample of that, and then there's the other one that I mentioned. So thank you so much for stopping by today. I can't wait to see the backgrounds that you create with this stamp set. Have a great day.